We finally have Acotar news. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Faith, and thank you so much for watching. After over 1,600 very long days since A Court of Silver Flames came out, we finally have some news about the next Acotar book. And guys, I'm so excited. I am here for it. I had an entirely different video planned for this week, but I wanted to jump on this news right now while it is fresh. So the video that I filmed for this week, you will see it next week. So if you haven't heard, the news is that she is officially done with the first draft of the next book. But is that all that's done? There's a ton of speculation going on right now of how many books she did complete the draft of. This is a screenshot of what her notebook said. Sarah randomly decided to drop this on us on July 10th, which at the time of filming this was literally just last night. I've currently seen 3 theories of what it says on the notebook. The first theory is Acotar 6 and an arrow, then Acotar 6 through 8, and then Acotar 6-D. I can kind of see every single one, and I can't decide which one I think is actually correct, so we're going to talk about all 3 of them. First, we're going to talk about the one that I think it is not. Acotar 6-D. And that's just because to me, it doesn't look like a D. At the top point, I do see kind of a loop, which is where I think people get the 8, but then I also could see it just being a connecting part of the arrow, but it just doesn't really look like a D to me. That being said, if it is a D, the D is kind of consistent with her writing for the word Acotar. So I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I could kind of see that being true. And that is pretty straightforward Acotar 6 draft. Then we have the arrow theory. When I first saw it, that is what I thought it was. I thought it was 6 arrow. But the more I think about it, I'm like, why would there be an arrow on it? Because the only thing I could think of is like, oh, arrow, turn the page, but it's the cover of a notebook. So like, what else would you do with it? But then I opened the comments of all these posts and saw people saying, oh my gosh, it's 6-8. And for some reason, it didn't click to me that people thought it was Acotar 6 through 8. I thought people were meaning 6-8, like the date. And I was like, guys, she's American. That would be June 8th, which was a month ago. But then I realized that people were meaning Acotar 6, 7, and 8. And I'm really torn on how I feel about this theory. Honestly, I kind of do see an 8. So even if it's not actually an 8, I do fully see how people are saying it. And don't get me wrong, I would love for 3 more Acotar books. And her caption does say, first drafts done. Drafts with an S. Drafts meaning plural. Drafts meaning more than one. Drafts meaning 6, 7, and 8. Okay guys, I actually just filmed that whole video, but I completely forgot to mention another reason why people think it means Acotar 6, 7, and 8. Last April, Sarah made an Instagram post and she used the hashtag AcoWhat with 3 T's, and people are like, she's never unintentional. Everything she posts has a reason. So people think the 3 T's mean Acotar 6, 7, and 8. And my main reason of why would it be 6, 7, and 8 is because it was in one composition book. And with all of her books so far, each book is bigger than the previous one in the series, with I think 1, maybe 2 exceptions in Throne of Glass. And that obviously doesn't count the novella in Acotar. A Court of Silver Flames was over 700 pages. So if we keep in the trend of each book getting bigger, the next 3 would all be over 700 pages. But just for the sake of this, we're going to say each of them are 700 pages exactly. That would be 3 books equaling 2,100 pages in one itty-bitty composition notebook. And of course you could be like, well, she has more notebooks, duh. But then why wouldn't it be, here's 3 notebooks for Acotar 6, here's 3 for Acotar 7, here's 3 for Acotar 8? Why would it be one that says 6, 7, and 8? Or 6 through 8. And you could also say, oh, well, it's just an outline, so she plotted the whole book, but then that would just be called an outline. And with that, you could still say, well, if the book is that long, she would need more than one composition book for that long of a book. And to that I say, yeah, and this could have just been the last one, meaning it has the ending of Acotar 6. Which actually, I'm going to throw in my own little theory real quick, because that just got me thinking. What if it means Acotar 6-8, as in that is the 8th composition book she's filled up just for the draft of Acotar 6? Will we ever know? Now, I won't gatekeep. Y'all can run with that theory if you guys want. I'm just going to say, I created it, guys. And of course, that could be literally so far off of what it actually is. It's just a theory. Whether it says 6-D, 6-8, or 6 arrow, honestly, I don't really care. I'm just glad we got something after 4 years of waiting. You know, I say that as if I read it 4 years ago. I didn't, guys. I'm sitting here as a cheat, as a liar. I read it 2 years ago. 3. You know what? I keep track of every book I read. this is how many years ago I read it. Either way, it's a long time of waiting, and I feel worse for the people who had to wait even longer than I did. But I'm just glad that we finally got something. Who it's about, I don't know. I don't think she's officially confirmed it yet. I want to say I heard her say in an interview that she said it was about Azriel. Guys, Azriel is my favorite character in the series. So I don't know if I just dreamt that or imagined it because I want it to be about Azriel so bad. So I don't even know if that's true. But I'm gonna manifest that it's about Azriel because I love him and I need his book right now. And you know what? Since we have some Acotar news finally, I'm gonna tell you guys whether I'm a Gwynriel or an Elriel stan. But you're actually gonna have to wait. I'm not telling you now. I'm gonna make an entirely separate video on that because I want this to be more about the Acotar announcement. And I have so much to say about both Gwynriel and Elriel that's gonna need its whole separate video. So I'm not gonna tell you who I'm rooting for just yet. You're gonna have to wait a little bit to find out. You know what? On that note, go ahead and subscribe so that when that video comes out, you can watch it. If you haven't read Acotar yet, first of all, I don't know why you watched this video. Glad you did. Thanks for watching. If you haven't read it yet, this is your sign to, guys. Also, no spoilers, but if you haven't read Crescent City yet, I highly recommend you do. If you haven't read Throne of Glass either, you know what? You should also read that. I read Acotar, Crescent City, and then Throne of Glass, but I've seen a lot of people say to read Throne of Glass before Crescent City. So if you haven't read either of those, you might want to get to it now that we've got an announcement for Acotar. Unfortunately, we still don't have a release date or really any information on Acotar 6 other than this, but I cannot wait for it. I am so excited to read it. And yeah, I think that is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow my Insta, which is linked in the description for more bookish content. I hope you're all having a great summer. I hope you have a fantastic day. Love you guys. Bye.